Now, you did touch on leadership. Now, the question, of course, is what role does leadership actually play in fostering a culture that embraces digital transformation, especially in HR? From the companies that you've worked with, from the corporates that you've worked with, not necessarily in Sri Lanka. I mean, like we said, you spread your wings, you're in different parts. Leadership obviously embraces things and trends in different ways. How crucial is that?
Absolutely crucial. The clear difference I've seen is when it's C-suite leadership led, the projects have significant success and faster to execute and achieve full-blown transition, because the leadership drives it, leadership wants to see this complete transformation. It's not about just picking a best digital HCM product and just asking a bunch of people just to implement. You need to give the expectation, you need to be part of that journey, because the digital HR today is just not for the HR department.
Right.
This is for the entire company. So all the line managers, C-suite, employees, everybody will be part of a digital HCM project or a product outcomes. So therefore, the C-suite needs to get involved, and if it's very important. The message I need to give is it's very important. It's leadership driven. Leaders drive this, and understanding each vital element of this whole platform capabilities, and bring those experience in a phased out roadmap based on what is priority to transition for them. If the engagement and performance is a priority, you bring those engagement and performance tools in. If managing the hybrid workplace, the timesheets and complex rostering is a priority, you just automate that and transition from that. If your priority is to derive various insights out of data, then if it's for a mature organization, I would say, then that could be the thing. In all these scenarios, leadership at the highest level plays a key role, and when they just delegate this to IT department and HR department, and okay, you run it, sort of thinking
Right.
that's just a project of HR department or HR and IT combined, the full merits of that transformation won't get achieved. That's the kind of thing I would have to say.
Harsha, obviously, now for example, MIHCM right now is slowly but steadily moving into many different corporates, but there are a lot of pushbacks, right? Why are there pushbacks?
Because resistance to change.
If
that's one of the things.
Yes. I mean, like you said, we spoke about leadership, obviously,
Yeah.
which is also important. If there are so many advantages,
Yeah.
if there are so many avenues where obviously your system or an HR automated system out there
Yeah.
can take care of the mundane work,
Yeah.
and you get to concentrate on the core businesses,
Yeah.
that should actually be appealing to corporates.
So any digital transformation project is actually a huge mindset shift.
Right.
It's not only for HR, for any digital project. You need to really move out from your comfort zone, your status quo, to think differently, focusing on the future. So that's where people are stuck, because people are, when they're comfortable with certain things, certain way of work, they don't want to shake things up. So that's the pushback actually we've seen in some cases. But what happens is the outside pressure is enormous with digital now.
Right.
Whether so if you switch on TV, if you go to social media or you read news, AI is everywhere. So with all these things, and when you see your consumer experiences are changing, people slowly start thinking this experience should come to work.
Right.
We need to change our workplaces to experience what we experience in a consumer world. So with these things happening, the external pressures are such that there's no choice. People need to really figure out and move forward. But they have a pushback in the past a lot. Pre-COVID, it was very hard for us to convince people to move from on-premise legacy sort of HR systems to cloud. Super hard. Pre-COVID, I would say.
Right.
Post-COVID, it accelerated. People were chasing us for digital HCM systems. Today, actually, the pushback is limited.
Right.
Even small businesses today wanting to automate and move on, which is a phenomena we are seeing in many markets now.
What is the misconception that's actually valid today in the market by implementing a digital HR system? One of the misconceptions, I suppose, was the fact that this could possibly take away an entire department, and that means people are going to be losing jobs. That's the misconception that's there.
That's right. So I'll two things. Like, first thing, I would answer that one. They need to really get into that human element.
Okay.
If you digitize and transform your mundane processes, now you have more time to have one-on-ones or group chats, and to align your organization to the required business objectives. Because today, if the organizations are not agile, you cannot survive. Today, any company is facing so many challenges, technology shifts, global geopolitical challenges. We are in a very volatile, very challenging environment. So if people are stuck with old clunky processes and no time to have a conversation with people, those companies are going to go down. I mean, and people who are agile and align their people, building the right culture to move forward. And also, we see other interesting dynamic. Today, for the first time, we see all generations work together.
Right.
I'm sure you have noticed that. We have the Gen Zs, Gen Y, Gen X, and even baby boomers. People with the technology, people in their 60s, 70s, part-time work, there are gig workers. So how do you really, with all different types of workers working together, top of that we have technology tools, bots helping our work, how do you really, as HR people, you need to understand these societal changes, these shifts in the way people work, and spend more time building that, rather than you are stuck with old processes and automation and things like that. So it's a very exciting time. So you have to get out of there and figure out what kind of upskilling, reskilling you need to do to ensure that you have the right skill sets in the organization to face the future. So that's how I see that transition needs to happen.
Now, obviously, you've got presence in different parts of the world.
Yeah.
You also have presence in Sri Lanka.
Yeah.
Adaptability-wise, how is Sri Lanka matching up to the rest of the world in HR automated systems?
I would say very good.
That's great.
It's very good. If you look at all the corporates.
I was actually thinking of the other side.
No, Sri Lanka, I must say, I'm very proud to say, is ahead of the curve. They love to adapt and move on.
Right.
If you look at all the corporates around us, they are all, most of them, majority of them are having a digital HCM in place. And now slowly implementing all the other things. I mean, like 4 or 5 years ago, a lot of people were not ready to even adapt mobile self-service. Now, mobility, enabling all the self-service experience on mobile and other tools like chatbots, all happening here. So today, even organizations are talking to us, even Sri Lankan organizations talking to us on AI and analytics stuff, which is very interesting, because today they all get exposed to what's happening out there, right? We can't live in isolation, so we are in a connected world, and all our corporates want to be the best in their game. So then they wanted to see that they use the best tools. So adaptability, I would say, is really good in the corporate sector, but SMB, a long way to go. We have a lot of digitization to happen in the SME sector. Compared to the likes of course, Singapore, Malaysia, they have a lot of incentives to SMEs to digitize, and there is so many programs in place. I'm pretty sure time to come, SMEs also will digitize their operations.
What's the next wave, Harsha, next wave of HR technological advancements that you're really excited about?
I think how AI going to shape the way we work, and how AI going to shape the role of HR is something I'm really excited about, and this is something that I think about a lot these days, because we have already built our own AI top of our HCM platform, one of the first to do in Asia. So we built our own HR Copilot. With that, we saw the kind of problems that we solved that we couldn't solve before, even though we were a digital HR product. Within seconds, we can do things like job descriptions to letters to survey templates to anything. Within seconds. You can just give a prompt and it generates for you, and then you can analyze the data within flash after publishing and collecting that data. And top of that, imagine giving that chat GPT sort of experience to your own data, where you can go and ask, okay, compare the top 3 performers and give me what are the kind of development plans I need to build. These are phenomenal stuff. So I'm very excited about how AI is going to reshape organizations and the function of HR, and how these tools are going to help to hire people fast, upskill, reskill people, how these technology can be used, because it's inevitable. AI is going to come into all our lives. It's already happening. So that's the area that I'm very, very excited about from a technology point of view.
Well, Harsha, obviously it's been, as always, phenomenal to have a chat with you and find out all those fabulous things. I mean, we've had many coffee chats over the many years to talk about so many different things and where the world is going right now. Before we do say goodbye, over the last few years with MicroImage, the holdings company right now, what is the one moment that actually stands out as a very rewarding moment in your life that, you know, it has a very soft spot and it will always be there?
It's a very difficult question to answer, because I had many interesting moments, but one of the interesting moments in time, you ask as a company as a whole, or for a product, or just
for you, Harsha.
For me,
I mean, you know, you obviously
okay. So
been
the
with
most
the journey.
interesting moment, I would say, came to me around 2013-14, where I realized, you know, we have built a very interesting company, but it's almost like a lifestyle company. We have a particular revenue, we do a lot of innovative products, and the products are widely used by Sri Lankan companies, including people like you are our customers for our Futura-based products. So why we can't scale globally? What does it take for us to build a phenomenal global organization? That was, I would say, the most interesting transition point for me personally, for someone who has started with absolutely nothing, with no prior college degree or no mentors or anything. Everything I've done, trial and error.
It's self-taught, isn't it?
Self-taught.
Yeah.
So trial and error with lots of hardships, to figuring out now this journey has come to a sort of a lifestyle stage. How can we build a global organization and competing with the best of the best and making impact to whole the other greater world. So I think that step enabled to build MIHCM platform, and at the time of we launched MIHCM platform, we in terms of global presence, we had only in about 3 countries. Today it's 20 plus markets, including markets that people don't believe that you can even enter. It's very challenging because of the localizations that you need to do. Markets like Thailand, markets like Vietnam, markets like Indonesia. We are in all these markets today. Myanmar, Cambodia, so, which are non-English speaking, and each country is very different nuances. So I think that I would say the most interesting moment in my life, where I have to think very big, transition my mindset to change how I look at things in a bigger way rather than with a narrow focus.
Well, Harsha, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you on the show. Thank you so much for agreeing to be with us on the show
Thank you.
on Meet the Tech Titans.
Thank you very much.
It's voices like Harsha Purasinghe, influential, iconic voices in the tech industry, who's actually taking Sri Lanka to the world and, of course, giving us all the fabulous insights in different expertise, different industries, because the world of technology is massive. It's huge. Everybody actually owns a very, very small slice of the pie. But the good thing, of course, is the fact that everyone needs to work together for the tech to actually work. That's what we're doing right here. We're meeting the tech titans in Sri Lanka, giving you insights, letting you know exactly where they are going and where they're hoping to basically take Sri Lanka. We've got more fabulous guests coming up right here on Meet the Tech Titans, which is brought to you by Hutch. We'll see you in the next podcast.